But so when they were trying to get the money for kids, Larry and Harmony actually did a photo shoot for like The Face or something, using some of the people in the movie, trying to get sort of a feel through photography of what the movie was going to be. And there's a kid in that photo shoot that was supposed to play Telly, but he got too old in the 2 years it took them to get the money. So he basically hit puberty or something, you know? And then Kim Cardona, the skateboarder who I was friends with from New Jersey, was supposed to play Telly. And his mom knew who Larry Clark was and was like, hell no. Like, my son ain't going to be in your movie. And then somehow I got involved and nobody liked that decision. Only Harmony and Larry. Like the producers like can't even understand what he says. Like they want to send me to speech therapy. And my favorite quote of Larry's, somebody was like, yeah, but he's not good looking. And Larry said, well, a good looking guy wouldn't need to chase pussy, which is kind of true. Like they needed kind of an awkward guy who would like this was like his thing was he'd go out and try to find girls, you know. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like girls were coming to him. And then because I was 60, I was under 18. And so Larry had to meet with my mom. And my mom was pretty hip to it. Like she knew that it was all real. You know, outside of the sex shit, some people might be having sex, but I wasn't having sex back then. The fighting, the hanging out all day, the drinking. My mom, being a mom, knew that was what's up. And so, and she really liked Larry. And so that's how I kind of ended up doing it. But yeah, so, but now I'm a 17-year-old kid. And again, there's lots of insecurities. I'll always be from New Jersey. That feeling will never leave me. Like, I like being the underdog. I like being the outcast. But now representing New York City in this movie and getting a lot of hate from it is kind of fucked up. And again, I'm 17. Like, I don't know what to do with this. And people don't know if it's real or a movie. And the distribution company, Miramax, or it was called something else because it was like, I don't know, unrated or rated X or some shit. But they didn't let any of the actors do any of the promotion because they wanted to keep the lines blurred. Mm. They didn't want people to think these people are just actors, you know. And Justin Pierce very much like his part. Harold Hunter very much like his part. Rosario very much like her part. The only two people where it was like a stretch is like me and Chloe, because Chloe was a last minute decision. She wasn't supposed to play that part. They had an actress that was supposed to play that part. And me being a skater from New Jersey, it was like hard enough to hang out with those dudes. Harold was always cool, but everybody else was dicks. They would remind you were from Jersey every second they got. And you would just, but like Bobby Puglio's from New Jersey. We had good fucking skaters from Jersey, but we were still whack. And so, yeah, it was like, it was weird to do the film and then be recognizable for somebody who was pretty insecure. And like, I just skated by myself. I didn't really care about other people. And so I went back and I worked at the skate shop in Jersey for like, I don't know, a couple months. And I would get like threatening phone calls. Like people knew I worked there and they'd be like, fuck, kill you and shit. Like, all right, dude, whatever. Like, and so I ended up saving money and I moved to London because I knew the movie wouldn't come out in London for like a year. Yeah. So I think Kids probably came out when I was 17 and I was like, fuck this, I'm out. And then ended up in London for a year, which was sick. Like, I love London. That shit was fun. Because now you're going to drum and bass parties, fucking hanging out with Tom Penny at South Bank. It's like, I fell in love with Stella beer. Like, over there they call it wife beater. And like, because that was like 99p. It was like the cheap beer. It was like our Budweiser. And so, and again, it's just being on your own and just like exploring. And with the skateboard, you have the ability to do that. You can go anywhere. And then, I mean, I was broke. Like when you only go in the grocery store style broke. Like, you know, you don't eat out at all. You go to the grocery store, you get beans on toast, whatever you can afford, a beer at night, whatever. So after a year of that, I came back, but again, I was like, fuck, New York just feels weird, you know? And the idea of becoming an actor never occurred to me. Nobody said, hey, you should do this. Why don't you take this opportunity and be an actor? There was nobody there to guide us after the film. So most people got their $5,000, which is what we got paid, fucking spent it for a few months, and then they were back to where they began before the film, you know, which is like kind of fucked up. Like somebody should have stepped in and been like, hey, these are opportunities. And so I came back from London. Again, New York felt weird. So I went to LA, and like, I didn't go to LA to act. I went to LA to skateboard because I was weirdly friends with Steve Berra. And so I go to LA, and now I'm sleeping under Steve Berra and Eric Costin's fucking dining room table, where Sean Sheffy had been sleeping before me, I think. And I'm an assistant to Damon Wayans. Like, do you know who Damon Wayans is? He was an actor on like In Living Color, and he's like a big comedic actor from the 90s. But like, I'm his assistant, and just doing dumbass shit, like going to Pier 1 Imports to like furnish his house, waiting for the cable dude. Like, but that's what I got to do to make money, you know? And one day he's working on this TV show, and one day somebody, like, I have to drive another actor to set, and they're like, aren't you the dude from Kids? Like, what are you doing? And I was like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm just doing what I need to do to make money. Like, I don't really think about it. And so maybe that, like, I think maybe I tried to like kind of figure out how to be an actor after that a little bit, but I still couldn't. But I meet a girl, and then we end up moving back to New York when I guess I was like 21 or something. And this is where like friendships were really like formed, like my art world friendships. Like all the skating shit was still kind of there, but this was like where Dash Snow and everybody kind of enter the picture, you know, all like the weirdos. And so that was like kind of the next step in me being in New York. Like, this is my new identity. Like, I'm no longer the guy from that movie. I'm now this thing. I'll never shake being the guy from that movie, but it didn't define me necessarily.